Hi there, this is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing Murder at the Seaview Hotel, written by Glenda Young. It's a cosy mystery. It's the first in a series, of course, set in a hotel in a seaside town, and the hotel is basically almost on the shore. So if you like cozy mysteries that are in a seaside town and maybe hotel based, and of course the characters play a big part in these books, this series is for you. It's an okay start to the series. It's strong enough to make you want to read more. It's not a perfect mystery, not a perfect book, but I think it's okay for a first book in a cozy mystery series. Let's talk more about the book now. Helen Dexter, our main character, is newly widowed. So her husband dies from cancer just prior to the storyline in this book, and she's not sure if she can run the hotel by herself. They ran it together. It's not a huge hotel, hasn't got many rooms, but she's just not sure if she can run the whole thing herself. So she's not sure if she wants to go on with it, if she wants to sell it, what she wants to do. She does get an offer from an estate agent to buy the property, and it's quite a big offer, and it's tempting. So if she sells, she'd be set up for life. But she's not sure if that's what she wants either, and she feels like that estate agent is pressuring her and almost threatening her to sell, and saying things along the lines of, "You'll be sorry if you don't sell today. You've got to today to decide, or something bad may happen." Things like that. So it gets Helen's back up a bit, and it makes her more determined to hold on to the hotel. Before she decides, she goes off on a holiday to family for a bit in Scotland, stays there for a few months, then comes back. And still she's not 100% sure what she wants to do. Then out of the blue, she gets a call from somebody wanting to rent out every room in the hotel, because there's an Elvis convention in town, like an Elvis festival, and there's Elvis impersonators that want to stay in her hotel. And this is quite a fun part in the novel, because what it turns out is that there's 12 Elvis impersonators. They're all in the same group, and they're called 12ers. So I thought that was quite fun in the book. It made me laugh as I saw these people from 12ers through the book. And they do make a bit of an impact in the story, and they're there for quite some time. One of the other fun parts in this book, and I just want to give this little fun part away, is when Helen has to jump on stage and help 12ers out, because there's one Elvis who's missing and they can't find him. So they've got this big performance for an hour and a half on stage, a huge audience, and Helen has to dress up as Elvis and become Helvis instead of Elvis. And I thought that was quite fun, and makes for some really good scenes in this book. The scenes don't happen for many pages. When they do, they're quite fun and they will make you laugh. But back to the reason why we have this story, and it's the mystery. So the missing Elvis impersonator from 12ers, he winds up dead. Not on hotel property, but in a lake. And this is a strange part in the plot. I thought it was quite odd. Even though he's not found on hotel property, because he was a guest at the hotel, apparently that's going to be bad news for the hotel. And all this bad publicity starts happening for the hotel, and Helen's worried that it will ruin her business and she'll have to sell. And I thought that was quite odd. You'd think that if someone died off hotel property, even if they were a guest, it's not going to give too much bad publicity for that hotel. Even in modern times, if someone dies in a hotel, sometimes it's good for the hotel. I mean, you get a lot of people who would go to a hotel where there's a death because they're interested in experiencing just the environment and the atmosphere of the hotel. And you get amateur sleuths going in, I think, in real life, just trying to solve a crime if it's not solved. So in real life, I don't think a death at a hotel would have the effect that this book seems to imply. So even though I didn't really buy the whole storyline about bad publicity for the hotel, I did enjoy the mystery enough. So Helen wants to help solve the mystery because of that reason, but also because it's just bad news for the town, really. And there's this bad cloud hanging over her, all her friends, and she wants to solve the mystery just to get on with her life. And you get that's the main sense of the story. That's the main reason why she wants to solve this mystery. The mystery element, it's okay, but the clues really aren't there, and it's solved more by coincidence than by anything else. I thought that was a bit weak in the storyline, so I'm hoping that in future books in this series that part's a bit stronger. So hopefully the author develops new ways to add clues into the story, to add different things into the mystery element, just to make it that little bit stronger. There are a few things that happen in this book that are quite gripping, that hook you in with the character Helen and with her ability to try to solve this mystery. So one of them is that she gets a package in the mail. In that package there's a toy dog, and there's a knitting needle stuck through the dog. And that's quite frightening for Helen, of course, because she has a dog, and the toy dog is almost like the dog that she owns. So you can see someone's trying to threaten her, and we don't know who that is. Is it the people trying to buy the hotel? Is it the killer of the Elvis? We don't know who sent that to her or why. That's quite frightening in the story for the main character. The other thing is that there seems to be this strange person in a black hoodie that's hanging around the hotel, and Helen spots this person at different times. So who is this person that seems to be following her and watching her? That's another thing that's quite sinister in this story. And the last thing is that she thinks someone's trying to break into the hotel because she hears something crash at night at one stage. It's like a tipped over flower pot, and then there's footprints in the soil. So is that the same person who's watching her, the same person in the black hoodie, or is it somebody different? You find all these things out as you go later on in the book, but they're quite sinister and they hook you in to the story a bit. So those elements are quite well written. The first character to talk about, of course, is the main character, Helen Dexter. She's quite a good character, very well rounded, very well created, I think. There's a lot of complexity to her. Her past plays into it a lot, and her past really explains her motives and her actions in the present time frame as well. And I did like the fact that she's quite strong. So she has a bit of a wavering moment where she's not sure what she wants to do, if she can cope by herself. But as the story goes on, you see that she's got this inner strength, and you see that in the character come through with her actions and the way she reacts to different things that come her way. And also with her friendship group, she's quite a loyal friend to people, and you see these interactions with other people in this story. And of course, in a cozy mystery, character interactions are very important, and in this book they do play a big role. And I did enjoy seeing those interactions between Helen and other people. I thought that Helen was very stable, quite a good character, and I thought that she would be a good character in a long-running series. Miriam is a lady who owns a hotel right next door to Helen's hotel, and Miriam is quite a good character. She's very quirky. She's like a soft villain, so she's not a villain that's, causing harm to anybody really. She's more like a soft villain, and you always get the sense that Miriam is planning something, she's plotting something. She thinks she's a cut above everybody else. And there's some great scenes in there between Helen and Miriam, dialogue between them, because they don't really like each other that much. They get on here and there, but there's always this undercurrent of displeasure between them. And I like one part where there's a bin strike. So the rubbish people aren't collecting the rubbish, and the bins are getting full, and Miriam, threatens Helen or warns Helen away from putting rubbish in her bins. But we get somebody sneaking around and throwing rubbish in Helen's bins, and that's a good part in this storyline. It's a bit of fun, a bit of lightheartedness, but it just shows you the character that Miriam is as well. Jean is one of the hotel staff. She's the cook, and I quite like her as a character. She's very down to earth, very grounded, and I like the fact that as a cook she only likes to cook certain things, a very limited menu. So the Seaside Hotel is a 3-star hotel. They do talk about going up a star, and to do that, they'd have to have more variety on the menu, and Jean's not happy about that, but she decides she'll try to learn to cook things. And one of the things she doesn't like to cook, or she can't cook very well, is oatmeal. So there's scenes in the book where she's trying to experiment cooking oatmeal. I found that quite strange, a cook that can't cook oatmeal. But as a character, she's very loyal, very strong. She's almost like a rock to people, especially to Helen at certain parts as well in the book. So I think her role in the book is going to be this rock character, almost this guiding light for people as they navigate their way through different scenarios in the series. I did like this book. I thought it was strong, above average. It's a good start to the series. It's not perfect, but it's strong enough to make you want to read more on the series, to explore these characters more. I did like the setting. I like the hotel setting, because you can get a sense that with this small hotel, it may just open up a whole different sort of avenues for mysteries and events and just things going on in that immediate vicinity. And I did also like the seaside setting as well. That was quite fun. And the characters, especially in this book, they're very strong, they're very well written and well crafted. I think the characters will be a lot of fun as the series goes on. I rate this a 3 out of 5, and I will look forward to reading more in this series. I do review a lot of cozy mystery books on my channel. If you don't want to miss out any of those videos, check out my channel and subscribe. There's a cozy mystery playlist as well. It should be on your screen now.